That billions of shillings meant for development and service delivery to the public have been diverted each year is common knowledge. Pressure has been piling on the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC to scale up its operations and nail looters of public resources as mandated by the Constitution.
Fighting corruption, whether low scale or high scale, starts with an intention. And as long as you have the intention, then definitely you are on course and you are on the right path.
President Uhuru Kenyatta in his second term has turned his attention to the corruption war alongside his Big Four agenda. But critics have argued that the biggest agenda was keeping masterminds of graft at bay, a position EACC affirms, with Kenyatta backing the Commission's efforts when he met top EACC bosses at State House, Nairobi.
It is definitely a bigger agenda, and there's not development, I can tell you, in whichever sector that can progress without attacking corruption.
Though there has been an increase in the number of corruption investigations that EACC has embarked on, there is demand for more arrests and conviction of those stealing or wasting public resources entrusted to them. Some of the high-profile graft probes that EACC has been focusing on in the recent past touch on Migori and Busia County governors, former Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero, as well as institutions such as the Kenya Pipeline, National Health Insurance Fund (NHIF), and the National Land Commission, leading to the prosecution of its chairman, Professor Mohamed Swazuri.
Probably that's what is creating impatience when you see that a claim is made against an individual, that somebody is involved in a scandal, has grabbed this and that, but is just walking around scot-free. But for me, I know that the person is being subjected to investigations and even sometimes some lifestyle audit exercises. But for the citizen, they think that that person must not walk around as long as they are mentioned, be thrown out of the office, be thrown into jail. But the processes don't allow, and the legal process really has to take precedence.
Up to 765 files on various corruption investigations have been forwarded to the Directorate of Public Prosecutions for action between 2013 and this year. The DPP has concurred with EACC on 559 files, the highest number being between 2015 and 2016, when the Commission submitted to the President a list of top government officials, among them 6 cabinet ministers linked to various corruption issues.
In 2013, when I joined, we had only one case concluded in court all over the country. Only one case. In 2014, 2 cases. By 2015, it had scaled up highly to 15. And by last year, we had nearly 40-50 cases concluded, out of which we had over 80% conviction. This year alone, even this financial year, I'm not talking about the calendar year, in the last 5 months, from July to now, we've secured 17 convictions. I believe Kenyans will be happy in the soonest days to come that they will see some of these convictions of the high-level individuals that they have been aspiring to see, governors, ministers or PSs, as we progress.
In 5 years, 128 cases have been finalized in court, yielding 97 convictions. 6 cases have been withdrawn, with 25 accused persons being acquitted. But the public has been pushing for recovery of illegally acquired assets and preservation of properties procured from proceeds of corruption. So far, EACC has filed 88 applications for preservation of assets and 85 cases to recover stolen public resources. All these valued at more than 3.6 billion shillings.
Besides the assets that we recover, how about the disruptions that we do on year basis or on yearly basis? Because people come and report a scandal in the making. We jump in, scuttle processes, and forestall processes. And therefore, we avert losses to that extent. In the last financial year, over 4.7 billion shillings value of assets and or loss was averted. In 2016-17, 6 billion plus, and many more.
But in the renewed fight against corruption, EACC has seemingly been overshadowed by the Directorates of Criminal Investigations (DCI) and Public Prosecutions (DPP), with new bosses in the 2 agencies, George Kinoti and Nurdin Haji, in the limelight. EACC is trying to hold its turf.
I do not feel threatened and I'm speaking for the Commission, I do not feel overshadowed, as you say, because there's nothing that puts us in that circumstance. We have nothing to compete or fight over. My lines are drawn clearly, and the Director of Public Prosecution Office is a clear line. We have a lot to do together. We have everything, actually, everything to do together. We have nothing to compete and fight, or shadow or overshadow each other.
While the Commission argues that it has done a stellar job in unearthing and combating corruption, it has also been accused of focusing on the small fish and watching as the big fish loot billions of shillings.
The same people who shout here and they are crying about scaling up of corruption, problems on the roads or highways, or in these government offices, are the same people who are very quick at facilitating the same processes. In the morning they leave their houses with 100 shilling, 200 and nowadays up to 1,000, that they're always ready to unleash when somebody asks them about a question.
With the country yearning for more success stories in the fight against corruption, EACC says it will prioritize complex graft cases with a focus on the personalities and monetary value involved to protect the public interest. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.